Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today, we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on December 31st, 2025, just yesterday. This paper argues that a truly lightweight model at 1.96 billion parameters can still develop native agent-style skills like planning and tool use when those abilities are trained in from scratch, not patched in by distillation. The paper is titled Youtu-LLM, Unlocking the Native Agentic Potential for Lightweight Large Language Models. And, as we will see later, the long context design and agentic mid-training make the results surprisingly strong for the size. Figure 1 makes the core claim concrete, which is that a small model can still score well on agent-style benchmarks. The full scatter plot relates model size in billions of parameters to average agent performance, and higher is better. The dashed circle highlights Youtu-LLM around 2 billion parameters, where both the base and instruct points sit unusually high. The arrow marks the preferred direction, meaning better scores without adding parameters. Figure 2 argues that the model is not just good at agent tasks, because it stays broadly competitive across everyday capabilities too. The figure shows two radar plots, where farther out means better across fields like common sense, STEM, coding, and long context or instruction following and reasoning. In the base panel, the Youtu-LLM 2B curve expands strongly on long context and coding. In the instruct panel, the same model keeps a balanced shape against larger competitors. Table 1 explains how agentic chain of thought turns messy freeform reasoning into a disciplined workflow that is easier to learn from. The full table lists 5 tagged phases, so the model practices structured problem solving instead of rambling. The left column names the stages, and the right column defines what each stage should contain. Analysis frames the problem, plan sets steps, action executes, reflection checks and corrects, and summary compresses the final takeaway. Figure 11 explains how the training plan gradually shifts the model from broad text to more agent-like behavior, while the learning rate ramps down to keep training stable. This figure shows the full pre-training recipe across stages. The top bar breaks data into web and encyclopedia, STEM, coding, and agentic trajectories, so the mix becomes more specialized. The bottom curve shows a warm-up and then a decay toward a very small learning rate, which reduces disruptive updates late in training. Table 6 shows that the 2 billion parameter base model stays broadly competitive, even when it is compared against larger baselines. The full table lays out common sense, STEM, coding, and long context scores side by side, so the claim depends on many tasks rather than one cherry-picked win. The STEM block shows strong results on harder reasoning sets like GPQA multiple choice. The coding block also stands out, with the rightmost column leading several paths at one metrics. The key message in Table 13 is that the instruction-tuned Youtu-LLM 2B transfers its agent-style training into real agent benchmarks, not just synthetic scores. Deep research uses web-style multi-step investigation, and Youtu-LLM leads on Gaia. In the code block, Youtu-LLM jumps on SWE Bench Verified, which is a realistic software bug-fixing test. The tool block shows strong tool calling, although QN34B stays competitive on BFCL v3. Alright, 2 takeaways stand out. First, a truly small model can learn planning and tool use natively, as long as the training curriculum and agentic trajectories are baked in from the start. Second, the long context, memory-efficient design makes that agent behavior practical for longer tasks, not just short demos. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.